My name is Theresa Thames, and I am the Associate Dean of Religious Life in the Chapel at Princeton University in Princeton, New Jersey. I am from Biloxi, Mississippi, and I like to say that everyone in Mississippi is Baptist. Even if you are Catholic or Jewish, Baptist is the culture in the South. And so I grew up going to church before I knew how to walk. I grew up in my New Bethel Baptist Church in Mississippi. I made it to Howard University, I like to say, on a fax machine prayer. One day I was going through my 17 magazine and I saw this beautiful spread for Howard University. I'd never thought of Howard, never even really heard of Howard where I grew up. And I instantly knew that I needed to apply. It was the deadline to apply, and so I faxed in back then in 1997, 98, I faxed in my application on the fax machine and I was accepted. I came to Howard this summer right after my graduation. I graduated in May, and 2 weeks later I was on Howard's campus in a pre-freshman program. Around the age of 14, I knew that I wanted to go into ministry, but my Southern Baptist pastor said, little girls don't grow up to be pastors, and so that was it. But during my time at Howard, I went to chapel every Sunday. I was a chapel assistant, and even before becoming a chapel assistant, that's when we were actually in the chapel space. Something about being in that space was very healing for me. All I knew was going to church on Sunday mornings, and so no matter what happened Saturday night, Sunday morning, my roommates and I were at church. The one thing that was most impactful about Howard University is being part of a community that saw my gifts, that called me on my gifts, and that was across from the woman in the cafeteria to Dean Richardson, to my professors, people who really called me to account on my writing, on my speaking, to being in class. And I am so thankful for the friends that I have. The community of Howard University called me into excellence. It called me to go higher in my academics. It called me to hone my gifts and graces, but more than anything, it called me to integrate my identity as a Southern woman, as a Black woman, as all of the spaces that I occupy. And so it is in that community of Howard that I am called to be who I am. When I graduated from seminary, I was ordained in my American Baptist church, and I could not find a job. And so there was an ad online for Foundry United Methodist Church, and I sent in my resume, and that's how I formally became connected with the United Methodist Church. It is my hope that the United Methodist Church will continue to raise a generation of women leaders, and we've seen that with the election of our 4 Black female bishops, which was important, but it's not enough. We have to keep going, that we have equal pay as male colleagues, that we get the big steeple churches as our male colleagues, and also in the university setting that we continue to provide safe spaces for female bodies, that we provide safe spaces for all bodies, but that on college university campuses that our female students feel safe. The 3 things that I know for sure is that we're never alone, get a mentor, and take care of your body. To those students who are just starting out, there will be disappointments, you will lose jobs, you will lose friends, things will happen, but it's part of the journey. And I say that this generation, my generation, we're not used to long-term suffering. We like instantaneous, immediate results. But what I do know is that faithfulness matters, and showing up, being consistent, and realizing that it's only a season. It's only a season. And so I could tell story after story about disappointment and heartbreak and things not going the way I expected. And there are prayers that I pray that I'm so glad that God did not grant to me, because what I have is way better. What brings me the most joy in what I do now is that I'm able to combine my love for academia and my love for God and people. So I say, the role that I'm in is the marriage of my passions. I'm able to be a pastor, and I'm able to engage in theological conversations that go really deep or shallow. I love being with students. I love being with my colleagues. Princeton, New Jersey is not Washington, D.C., so I miss those aspects of being in D.C., but I love the ubiquitous nature of Howard. Everywhere I go, there's a Howard Bison somewhere, there's a scholar somewhere. Even being in the United Methodist Church, there's always this Methodist connection. And so, yeah, I'm able to dabble in both worlds, and it feels authentic, and it gives me a lot of joy.